Nice little smallmouth. Jig fish. Doesn't feel too bad. He's just digging. He just choked it. A freaking largemouth. That was a spot. Very white spot. That's a decent one. You see where that jig's at. So we're just fishing out the end of a, call it a point. You can see the hazard buoys there. Nice chunky one. We'll throw him in the well just so he doesn't spook off some fish. Just don't want him to spook other fish that may be down there by releasing them all stressed out. Hey fishing peeps, this is Sean, the Average Angler. We got a fishing report. Yesterday we went out to Lake Berryessa, January 20th, 2022. Oh man, it was a gorgeous day. Beautiful, sunny, no wind early. There was a little slight breeze there near the end of the day. Man, it was a beautiful day to be out on the lake. As far as the fishing goes and conditions, okay, we're pretty close to a full moon, if not on a full moon. I didn't look, but I know it was awful bright out. Water temperature about 54. The lake's still down, I don't know, 28, 30 feet, a long ways. Yeah, I think that's about it for the conditions. Anyway, I caught a fish probably the second or third cast I was there, and thought, boy, we're really onto something here. And you know, the area I started, I ended up catching 5 or 6 fish. Some on the cool baits, 3/8 ounce with the 3.8. I think that's the Pro Blue Shiner. Keytech 3.8 and a 3/8 ounce. Fishing kind of deep, 20 to 60 feet is where most of the fish came. It turned out that the area I started on was just really solid. It was a call it an island or a long point that stuck way out into the lake. You'll see in the video when you see some of the footage that I was a long ways offshore, and there really didn't seem to be much around it, and I never really saw any big groups of fish until the last spot I fished, and bites were kind of spread out as to be expected with the way I was seeing them, and I don't really know where they're at. You know, it's January, and really we had kind of a late fall. You know, unfortunately, we haven't had much rain as of late. It's been fairly nice out. It's still cold at night. The nights are long. The water's not going to warm up till next month. But we moved on. I tried some other similar things in that area. Would catch one here or there. I fished mostly the middle of the lake area, from Big Island down to Skier's Cove, and then over to Capel Cove. Later in the day, let me get to what I caught most of the fish on, was a Yamamoto hula grub. This one's in mowed grass. I actually ran out. I was throwing the 330. But this hula grub on a 1/2 ounce Gamakatsu football head. It's light wire, and this is just one that I painted. You buy them raw, and then I painted them. This is just like it's like a hammered purple and black head, if you will. Well, I didn't rig that very well without my glasses on. Anyway, you get the point. And I didn't have to fish it slow. They didn't seem to want to eat it when it was slow. I had to keep it moving. Well, lift, drag, and then when I bump into something, just lightly pop it up, and that's when most of the bites were coming. So I ventured around into Skier's Cove, fished a couple other long points. They just weren't doing it. This one was, it was flatter, then it dropped off, and it was really close to deep water, 80 to 100 feet, which was actually where I was seeing bait. And so I think the fish were hanging around there, possibly waiting for the bait to come up, possibly going down and eating the bait. I don't really know. Another good one. That jig right through the roof of his mouth. You like that one, huh? There we go, yeah. Okay, so as we moved on, I kind of moved, started working my way back towards Capel Cove where I launched. Steel Park is where I launched. And the other jig I was throwing was one of my little finesse jigs. It's on the same head. It's just brown round rubber and a little bit of Texas craw, which is kind of a pumpkin with some purple flake in it. Whoops. And you'll see here, it's a pretty light wire hook, open, no weed guard. Really easy to get this in the hook the fish with these, okay? I was throwing them on my Daiwa Zillion 7-foot heavy with 14-pound fluorocarbon, and I was throwing a Victory. It's a new Victory. It's called the Marshall. 7'3", I think. Yeah, 7'3", medium heavy fast. Really nice rod, casts really well. And because it's a fast action, it has a really nice bed for fighting the fish. Anyway, both were really nice. I fished that one on 15-pound big game. Actually caught the majority of fish on the big game, mostly because I was fishing that rod probably more than anything else. But I was just kind of doing a test. I went back to fishing what I fished for so long, many years ago, and that was the Berkeley big game. It's much less expensive than fluorocarbon, and I still think it works just as well, unless maybe you get into ultra clear water, which Berryessa is not ultra clear right now. It's a little on the cloudy side, maybe 2.5 feet of visibility. Anyway, as I moved south, I caught a couple fish here and there, as you'll see in the clips, And then I found a spot that was kind of flat but extremely rocky. I think I went through, lost 4 or 5 jigs there. I did try the new depths cover scat in that spot. I did catch a smallmouth on it. It was a little tiny one. I figured that bait might work really well. The problem was the fish were reacting to the bait being popped up off the bottom. And that thing being weightless, it just wasn't, it's not falling fast enough. Anyway, we got off the water right about 4 o'clock. If I had it to do again today, I think I would run north, and I would probably throw some reaction baits as well. Either a chatterbait or a crankbait, most likely a crankbait. There are some fish up shallower, as I found out later in the day. You just got to cover water if you're going to fish reaction. You got to cover water if you're fishing anything. Actually, that's the other thing I would do different. I would move a lot quicker. A lot of times I would catch a fish or two and, you know, really try to work the spot for some more, and it just wasn't happening. If they were there, they were biting pretty quick. So if you're not getting bit, move on. Try another spot. Just keep moving, keep moving. Until next time, this is Sean with The Average Angler. Please like and subscribe my channel. I could really use the support, and I'm going to be bringing you more reports, tips, and techniques in the near future. Tight lines. There we go. Largemouth. Not surprising, we're kind of shallow.